first off, I want to thank each, and I'm going to have to stand here because there's only one mic in this room. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today to see us talk about video culture, how to incorporate it into your store, into your processes, into your templates, and how you can beat and dominate your competition. We are going to use this all themed around movies, which are extremely near and dear to my heart. I know more about movies than I even know about automotive retail. So you will be tasked with a few questions if you two are movie buffs. First off, I want to introduce the man, the hair, the legend, Steve. Steve is a pro wrestler.
There you go. Yeah, Steve Roessler. Yeah, I work at DriveCentric, and it's really cool and an honor to actually be working with Joe, because Joe's been doing video for a very, very long time. Just a little bit about me.
Don't age me.
What's that?
Don't age me.
Joe. Well,
I'm only 22.
Well, I mean, look at my hair. I'm only 30. But anyway, but no, I got in the auto industry about 4.5 years ago, and if people ask me why did I get into automotive, as a sales guy, that's just diehard. I love sales. One of the things I knew was missing in one of the things we're going to be talking about, obviously, is video, is how can we brand ourselves differently as a salesperson? And me being in the industry for only 4.5 years, I've had the honor of meeting quite a bit of you, but a big portion of that is to actually me sending out videos to customers. So that's the passion that I see with video, is making an impact for me and our business. And obviously, this is one of the things that Joe and I are passionate about bringing to you. So that's a little something about me.
So I've now spoken probably 19 or 20 digital dealers, so it amazes me that anybody is still willing to sit through one of my sessions. Video is near and dear to my heart. I literally would not be standing in front of you if it weren't for the way that I sort of adopted video, or maybe adapted to video very early on. And it really propelled me to be doing what I do, which is go around the nation and work with dealerships to improve how they communicate with the prospects, how they brand themselves, and everything from BDC training, internet sales coaching, and management consulting. But video needs to play a role in how we communicate within our dealerships and communicate to our customers. So with that said, we are going to talk about what it takes to be the best of the best by utilizing video in our customer communication. We need to, just from the beginning, understand the basics of video and how it can work for you, how to create some killer video elements inside your templates, inside your CRM, and where to incorporate those in the processes. We're going to talk about how to transform your salespeople into movie stars, hopefully, and get them more comfortable with the medium of video, and how to be ideally memorable in video. And then we're going to share some data on how that you put it all together, and how we've seen growth at some stores and seen true connectivity rates increase all through the use of video.
And one of the things that I always want to talk about is, you know, the biggest thing is we all say we're going to start doing video. You guys got to go back to the dealership. Let's all shoot video. We all want to do that. But I think the key thing that we really want to make the impact on is making it continually be a part of your engagement strategy to your customers. And so that's why it's exciting to talk about video as a mainstream medium, not just as a one and done.
Yeah, I mean, and truth is, more videos are viewed every single day than emails are opened in the United States of America. So we need to start incorporating in one of the most popular mediums as a means to truly differentiate ourselves from our competitors. So as a medium, though, we're not saying that you have to go all in on video. By no means are we saying that. There's plenty of seats up front. Feel free to get comfortable. Other people will stand. No, I'm just kidding. But we still know that email, pound for pound, is considered most consumers' preferred method of communication to receive marketing from any type of corporation. And I'm a little old school. I still believe that phone conversations and phone connectivity rates are extremely important to increasing your closing ratio. And there's nothing wrong as well with texting. Texting is very valuable nowadays, but video needs to be one more bullet in the gun. Steve McQueen, and this is probably the movie that he is the most famous car movie legend, and the name of it is Bullet. But video needs to be incorporated into your process somewhere, because
you get a 52% more effective getting a reply. I mean, think about it, guys. How many of us, we have our people pick up the phone and we dial for dollars and less than, call it 10% pick up, right? I mean, we have to think of all the tools we need to get engagement. And engagement, by definition, is a reply. So if I'm going to sit there, make those phone calls, I'm going to text opt-ins, and I'm going to send just generic emails, what's our reply rate? So if we're telling you that 52% more of your videos are going to get a reply rate, why wouldn't we take advantage over that?
So there is a little bit of history of video inside of automotive. It was probably 2004. A friend of mine, some of you, if you saw him in the early days, Tim Jennings, now works for Shift Digital. He bought the first flip camera that Best Buy sold, and he started going out and shooting videos of the vehicles in his inventory. And that's about 2004, doing live, introducing himself, showing the videos. He posted his first few to YouTube, and the next morning a huge biker guy came in. He didn't send those to anybody. He just posted them to YouTube. And a big biker came in and said, "Where's Tim Jennings?" He thought he was going to get his butt kicked, but instead he said, "I saw this truck on YouTube and I want to buy it from you." And ever since that day, he started doing video walkarounds on every single unit he had in his inventory and selling 20, 25 cars a month through nothing more than the power of video. He sucked at communication. He was no good. He will freely admit that he was not great going back and forth with the customer. He was a sales guy that understood the power of video. We've seen video take hold inside of automotive when it comes to the pan, scan, zoom, boring inventory cuts that we have. And we also have hopefully adopted and have people that have filmed fun videos. Who here has salespeople, not just a really kick-butt e-commerce director, but salespeople who actively involve themselves in video? Okay, so great, a good amount. Who is one of those people that actively involve themselves in video? Show of hands. So less. So in other words, everybody here has to go back and put into policy why video is going to be important. So you are the mouthpiece then from everything we're saying. I started with video really early on. Cars.com, because I'm from Chicago, would come out and send their own video production team just to film my team and I and how we were utilizing video messaging to communicate with customers. Back in 2005, 2006, we used to answer 50% of our emailed questions with video responses. It was much easier to do then because flash in email was allowed and not frowned upon by the internet service providers. But nonetheless, we were Skyping customers in 2006 to close deals. I recognize that the moment you can put a face to a name is the moment you can start endearing yourselves to customers. Otherwise, we're nothing more than your internet teams and BDCs are nothing more than the information kiosks at malls, giving out information, pointing people in different directions.
Yeah, so one of the things we always talk about is everybody's like, well, if we're going to do video, we're going to go out and spend a lot of money. It's really not that expensive to go out there and start shooting video. CRMs are starting to incorporate video. Okay, you can go out there and buy third-party tools and start doing video. You don't have to get this huge production set to do a personalized video.
Yeah, YouTube is free.
YouTube is free.
It's not the best scenario, but it is a scenario.
Yes. So if you talk about what we can do, everybody has got one of these. And yes, salespeople will go ahead and do a video right here from your cell phone and send it to the customer.
I've seen homeless people with smartphones.
So we can all do this. And if you're going to do it, you don't have it, let's say a platform, then do it from your cell phone, but just make sure the video is smaller, just from a video size to be sent to the customer. So if you're going to text it or email it, the file size is really the biggest issue when it comes to doing it from your phone.
Yeah, now, and from a budget perspective, let me understand, there's no way that you can go back based on your CRM and just say, hey, you need to start doing videos. It's harder, it's easier said than done. Because let's say you just use YouTube. And there's one of my clients here who they willingly give access to every single salesperson that they hire that has full unfettered access to the dealership's Google account to give them dealership access to the YouTube channel. They go every single lead, no matter what, go out and with their YouTube app on their phone, connected to the dealership, film a video, add it to their own playlist, send that link to the customer into the CRM, because a lot of CRMs do not embed video. And that is one way to do it. It's not ideal. It's one way to do it. It's not ideal to send a customer video shared through YouTube. Your deliverability rates are great. Everything will be accepted then through every internet service provider, but it's not easy. And everything I'm going to say pretty fast, not just because I speak fast, because I want you to understand the sheer inadequacies that some dealer CRMs have. Let's assume you have your own YouTube channel playlist. You go out with your phone, you shoot a video, it goes to your camera roll. You go open up your YouTube app, add it to that. you wait until it uploads, write in a good title, write in a good description. Hopefully you fill out some of the optimization tasks underneath. Then you get that, you get the link, but that's not good enough. You go back to a desktop and then you screen cap it, and then you upload that image all the way into a CRM. Then you have to insert that image and resize the image, and then you have to hyperlink that image to the video so it opens on YouTube. Hopefully that the second video that plays afterwards is from your playlist. Not easy.
That sounds simple, doesn't it?
Not easy.
I'm on board.
And that is why there are CRMs that are going about incorporating video in a much smarter way. And there's tools that you can use that, hey, listen, I don't take money from vendors or anything, but there are tools that you can use outside of CRMs that will allow your team to communicate with video quicker. So,
this is one of the things, this is a virtual test drive. Watch this video real quick, then we'll talk about it.
Go ahead and show you as far as with the backup camera, how it works and everything. So he's going to start backing up with me. There we go as we leave the parking lot. Now I am going to pause the video for a second, and when we get out on the road, I'm going to start it right back up. So hold tight with me. So now what we're doing here is...
So what he's doing for this customer happened to be in Pensacola, Florida. The dealership is actually in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Goes on a virtual test drive to give that customer a personal experience. They actually sent this customer 5 videos on this used car. I mean, customer did not want to buy the car without doing a test drive, but he didn't want to drive from Pensacola all the way up to Chattanooga. Go figure. So what they do, they went over and beyond the call of duty. They do this stuff. They went through the fast food restaurant. I mean, if you watch these videos, they're all fun. That's just kind of a tidbit on how you could do this on a low budget. And at the end of the day, this customer wound up meeting in Birmingham, Alabama, and they bought the car on a Sunday. So just kind of think about what we can do to give the customer's buying experience a better one by bringing the car to them, because people will buy a car further away, right? Because nobody locating a car, right? Where's this car at? You know, the wish list thing is kind of like, hey, the internet's powerful. I can find a car in Chattanooga from Pensacola. So that's what you can do with it.
So let's say you are a big dealership. You want to get invested heavily in doing things the right way. You walk that exhibit hall. There are 10 different companies now trying to sell you some level of digital retailing tool. We all know the customers are going farther down the pipeline and farther down the buying process online in advance of buying a car, and some are willing to buy fully online. I will tell you, I live here, just north of Orlando. I will tell you about 20 miles north of here is a Carvana vending machine. About 100 miles north of that is another Carvana vending machine. I see that damn Carvana shipping truck almost every single day dropping off a truck to people. So we might say that it is a very small part of the market in which it is that customers are buying online, but they are willing to do that. And sometimes they're willing to do that because they feel more comfortable in the car. I myself, I'm a big boy. I don't know if you noticed that. There's a reason. I don't mind standing behind the podium up here because of audio issues. There is a benefit towards giving customers a different, more dynamic video experience that allow them to feel comfortable buying a car from you almost sight unseen. And here's one example of it.
Slow it down just a little bit, not all the way. And then you're gonna see, it's gonna start beeping at me. My hands aren't on the wheel, my foot's not on the brake.
Okay, Rebel, I have a question.
Hey, I'm Revel. Do you have a question about pre-collision braking on the Subaru Legacy?
Yeah, how do I activate that again?
Sure, let me show you. Just press the button to the left of the steering wheel. It's right here.
Do you have any in stock?
Let me check. Absolutely, it looks like we have 20 in stock right now.
Revel, resume.
Everything's planted, my feet are planted.
Hey Revel, send to mobile.
So that is a different type of experience that we can, if you invest, you can deliver to a person that makes them feel more comfortable. Who has a VR headset? I got one for each of my kids, and I got to tell you, it is a game changer. Now I get motion sick easy, so admittedly, sometimes I'm on a roller coaster, I'll rip it off my head for fear of getting sick. But there are companies like FlowFound being one, who's in the office. There are companies that can deliver this type of mobile experience or even VR experience to let a customer feel like they're taking what I would consider a more truly virtual test drive than two people driving. There's the cheap version, there's the more costly version, but one way or the other, these are the type of experiences that you can deliver. When you're incorporating in video, and I've been very fortunate that one of my best friends is a filmmaker. So has anybody ever seen any of my videos that I've done?
Oh yeah, there's a few out there.
They'd suck if it weren't for him, because he understands some of the important elements of video, and audio, more than picture quality, is the most important thing. If you have even a reasonable smartphone nowadays, you have amazing video capabilities, but audio is important. So for $40, $50, you can invest in a little plug-in to your phone and a little wireless lav mic that'll give anybody the ability on your showroom floor to sound crystal clear to the customer, and you don't hear wind whipping around. What movie is this from? Who said that first?
Who said it?
Here, give it to Jay. Okay, you got it? All right.
Yeah, the one thing, because if you're doing it just from your phone and you don't have the microphone, that's the one thing I always try to encourage everybody to do is if it's a windy day, run out there and do some, test of your video, because it doesn't take long. You run out there, if you're going to show the car, but it's a windy day, just, do a quick, hey, here's the car, blah, 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 blah. You're walking around, and then play it back for yourself and have your sales guys test to see what the wind is like. Okay, otherwise then you may have to pull the car in the service drive so there's no wind. Just kind of think about that if you don't have microphones.
Yeah, and this isn't all about sending video communication to prospects. A lot of it can just be what video you should be creating for the search engine optimization of your website, and to create more interesting content and dynamic content to send out to post-sale customers, for instance. So everybody should go to Google Trends. So it's google.com/trends. And you can just start typing in what customers are searching for. And like, for instance, if you look at how to change a tire versus how to check oil blows how to change a tire away. So do you have things as simple on your service pages, how to change a tire, like a video, an FAQ, how do I change a tire, and a video response. You can figure out what type of content you should be building just by using Google Trends. So some of the elements that you're going to want to incorporate into your videos, in the end, we build out a lot of email templates for our clients, probably too many, as some people in the audience will admit. What movie is this from, by the way? You got it right here.
Who was it?
Oh, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
Close. All right. Christy, so, that's killer. See, I gave you a clue on that one. But there are a lot of different videos to send. I don't care if you're selling planes, trains, or automobiles. More than just, hey, how you doing? My name's Joe. I want to thank you for submitting an inquiry. More than that, there's countless other emails you can send. You should all have, ideally, video website bios on your site to endear your team to potential shoppers. My first page that I look at on any dealership website is the Meet the Staff page every single time, because I want to get a lay of the land. I want to get a feel for the team. I want to see if they're smiling. By the way, very often they're not. But I want to understand the type of people that a dealership employs. But if each person has a website bio, that can be a why buy from me template that exists inside your CRM, and they can always share the why buy from me, their own personal why buy from me, if you do a website correct. The personal intros are some of my favorites. I've been preaching these since Digital Dealer 4. Damn, I'm old. 4. So we all have seen countless vehicle video walkarounds that teams are doing, virtual test drives.
And I was going to say, this is a slide that I think all of you should take a picture of. I mean, you could download it, but again, what are we talking about? Is building the culture. And the hardest thing that right now you guys are doing at your dealership is you're going to say email that customer, right? And the thing is we have to find reasons to send the customer a video from A to Z. So if somebody says, oh yeah, we can do a post-sale thank you. I mean, who wouldn't want to thank you for somebody that came in the showroom, didn't buy a car, but they're going to go down the street and we're not going to do anything to entice them to come back? That's the personal experience. Those are the things we're lacking in this industry to keep that customer coming back in the showroom. So these are great examples of what to do, and we're going to show some of them.
Let's face it, as somebody who builds out processes in CRMs, I will admit, I've been a salesperson too. I've sat in their seats. Does anybody love calling a customer on their birthday? No. But if you got a video, it's fairly non-invasive. You wouldn't mind that. You'd appreciate somebody taking the time to shoot a video and singing you happy birthday. But whether it's post-sale, whether it's re-deliveries, because you know that OEM survey is going to go out, whether it's re-deliveries and showing the features and benefits, or trying to get more from the trade-ins that we'll show you later, there's a multitude of different types of videos that you can be creating for your dealership. In the end, though, the most important reason for video is to get them to fall in love with you. I won't ask that, this is an easy one. Is to get them to fall in love with you. And why do we need them to fall in love with you? Because Google sometimes hates us. So if you Google car salesmen are, you will see that it shows car salesmen are losers, car salesmen are crooks, car salesmen are scum, are the worst, are annoying, are liars, are evil. Evil. I mean,
Evil.
So
bad.
So unfortunately, this is what most people have written into Google, typed into Google, exists in Google, and for that reason, we need to overcome this as an obstacle. And video is a great way to not only differentiate yourself, but make yourself look likable. Nobody here looks like a gremlin. Nobody here looks like, an evil demon. Well, now admittedly, there are some people at dealerships that still have mustaches.
We didn't look at the whole crowd.
I'm very anti-mustache in video. So if you have a mustache, your team has mustaches, then just ask them not to do those videos. But with that said, you need to embed them into your emails and just send those out, because this person looks a lot more likable than the typical person that if you were to Google, and I didn't show this, Google car salesman images. And I will tell you, we don't look great. We all have gold chains and pinky rings and chest hair rocking, and we have
plaid coats,
sunglasses up here, and we have patches on the arms, and I mean, what?
It's just Kurt Russell. Everybody always thinks Kurt Russell, used car guy, right? That's what they think.
A lot of people are pointing in different directions, like all their hands, and they're dangling keys in one hand, mustaches. So if you share video of you and your team, it doesn't matter what they look like. People can visualize what it's like to test drive a car. They can visualize what it's like to go to your dealership. They cannot visualize what it's like to work with you. The moment your team starts sending video to them, it is a great skate protector for them. Because that customer then comes in and says, no, I don't remember his name, I don't remember her name, because they don't care about our names, they really don't, customers. But they will come in and they'll say, no, it's the tall guy. It's a big tall guy. Sort of looks like a giant man-child. And they're like, oh, that's Joe. That's Joe. Yeah. So, I mean, that's how they get recognized. And I'll show you the things to say. It doesn't have to be detailed. It can be just a basic, head, breast, neck, chest, face, and hair area shot. And you introduce yourself. And you're going to say, how you doing? My name's Joe. I'm the internet manager here at ADC Motors. I just want to introduce myself and put a face with a name. Make sure that you're receiving the emails I've been sending. Give me a call as soon as you're ready to schedule a test drive. My number here is, or you can reach me at the number below. I don't even need to say my number because this is on an email. Thanks and have a great day.
Yeah, and just real quick, I was going to say, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the Gallup poll recently. Anybody know what the Gallup poll, as far as where we rank as far as people trust in us?
Honest and ethical professions, I know this one.
Yeah. What's the score now? What is it?
Yep.
It's second from the bottom. But 90% of customers don't trust us. 90%. Perception in their eyes, a customer's eyes, is reality. What we're trying to show you is we have to change their perception. That's what video is doing. We are not those people in plaid patches. We have to change the customer's perception. That's the goal here.
So, I mean, one of our joint clients, again, I ensure that everybody sends them personal introductions to every single lead that comes in regardless. So one of our mutual clients, I said, I went into the CRM right away and I just pulled one out at random, and this is what it looks like. And tell me if this is more complimentary or endearing than an all-text email.
Good morning, Roy. It's Gina with Mercedes-Benz of Birmingham. Just wanted to reach out to you today and introduce myself as well, put a face with a name, check in to make sure that you did receive those pictures from Nick yesterday on that GLS 450 you had inquired about. If you would, give me a call today. My number is 205-848-7159. Look forward to speaking with you. Thanks so much.
More likable, correct? Less antagonistic. I am not hesitant to go see this person or go to this dealership. So those are the type of changes that we can make your mind with something more. Now, again, I'm a little crazy, and I apologize for that, but I always used to take it a step farther when I was in retail. I used to make almost mini short films. I used to send this out to every single internet lead, this next video, every single internet lead, 3 days after it came in, and the subject line would only say, this is what will happen if you go to any other dealership but us.
Come on, let's go. Here's my car. Don't deal with anybody else.
Is this before The Walking Dead? Oh.
What's it gonna take?
Any way that I can be or you can be memorable, you can do that. You can have unsold showroom follow-up from salespeople. When they leave, listen, they remember what the car looked like. They remember the smell of the car. They most specifically remember the price and the payments of the car that they didn't buy. Maybe it's the salesperson that cost the deal, or maybe it's the salesperson that makes them feel guilty that they didn't buy the car, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, now this is a great example. This guy right here, is there no volume on?
I turned the volume off
on
this
okay.
guy 'cause he has
So
to
this
do-
happened to be an unsold showroom visit, and it was really cool. He goes out there, and this is dedication. I mean, who goes out there in the snow and shoots a video? All right, he's cold. But, you know, more importantly, he went over and beyond the call of duty. Customer left the store. Customer went to another store. He wound up coming back and buying from him. Was it the video that did it, you think? I mean, it's part of the process.
One of
And-
the, oh, sorry.
or
I
no,
was going to say, one of the beauties of a video is you show the vehicle. Now, I always advocate you show your face first, but you're showing the vehicle and reminding them, when you show a vehicle in a video, rather than just on your website, what question does that answer?
It's there.
It's there. It's available. It's on the lot right now. So that takes a lot of trepidation away from customers because let's face it, there's a reason 20% of all buyers call us in advance and 20% of all customers email us in advance of buying a car. 60% still walk in, ballsy. But 20% email, 20% call because they don't trust that the information we have online is always accurate, is up to snuff. So sometimes a video will answer
Hey
that
Kathy,
question.
happy Saturday. Sophia here from Mazda Lakeland, General Manager. I have your sales associate with me.
Hey Kathy.
This is Alan. Hopefully you remember him from a few weeks ago when you came in. You were in your early stages, so I just want to check in and see you know, how the other dealerships treated you, where you are in the buying process, if you've narrowed down any options. Would be here to help in any way we can. So just give me a call, an email, or text message. My phone number here is 863-274-7240. Thanks. Hope you have a great Saturday.
So does your general manager shoot videos? If you're shooting videos, does your general manager? We got to lead from the top down. Everybody should be doing videos. If we know videos are going to be impactful, everybody should shoot a video, period. General sales manager, sales managers, general managers. How do we just incorporate it? And you can see right here, whether the sales guy's there, at least it's a team approach.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't look thrilled about it, let's face it.
Yeah,
I would
he's
rather
thrilled.
him smiling. He's sitting down like, oh, here she goes again. But either way, I guarantee you, she will influence somebody more to come in with this than an email from a general manager thanking them for the opportunity to earn your business. Can I ask what prevented you from purchasing?
That template.
This video goes a long way. I still work with some of my clients to make outside of the box videos for unsold showroom follow-up, where again, we make short films. We'll make full-on short films, dynamic content that exists on pre-roll, that exists in the emails that go out to customers, that we've incorporated in social just to be more likable as an organization because everybody likes to be entertained. My philosophy, if you shoot a video, is it needs to either inform or delight. Those two things. Inform or delight. Preferably, I like being delighted. Because Google has already changed the way my brain learns. I don't know how to learn things anymore, it seems. Because if I don't want to retain anything, it's just, how does that work again? Okay, here we go. That's the answer. But regardless, I will say there's an opportunity to make yourself likable by putting your heads together, being creative. Work with your ad agencies. There's a lot of ad agency people here and even in this room that can work to make very unique pieces of content dynamic to you with your own team in them, to start creating a fan rather than just a follower or a customer.
Yeah, just to touch on that, the one thing that I always like to talk about is a term called upstream marketing, and what Joe was doing on those videos is literally just building a brand for himself in sales. So he is likable. I mean, if you just think right now, if you had plumbing issues, do you know what plumber you're going to call?
Joe.
Joe. No, but you're probably going to ask a friend. All right. If you are likable, you're going to get referrals. This is what upstream marketing is, building a brand for yourself as a store, as a person, so the person knows who to call when they're in need of a car. That's all it is. That's upstream marketing, where you're not paying all this downstream marketing and advertising. That's what downstream marketing is. Upstream marketing is a subliminal message to you that says, when I have this problem, who am I going to call? Ghostbusters. No, that's what you want to create. That's the dynamic.
So Tim Jennings, who I talked before, the first guy that started doing vehicle walk-around videos, he used to go and only give money, additional money on trades. When the customer inevitably says, can I get another 500, can I get another 1,000? Instead of arguing with his sales manager, used car manager, about giving him another nickel for the trade, he used to say, I'll tell you what, we have to explain to the next customer why this vehicle is $500 more, $1,000 more. So let's go out, let me shoot you a video of you showing off your vehicle, telling me how you took care of it, telling me how you used it, and if you do that, I'm sure that's gonna get me farther towards getting you that money. And some people take advantage of it, and some people know that they beat the crap out of that car like it was a rental. And maybe that vehicle isn't worth that extra $500 to $1,000, but they will ask for a favor from the customer to do that. Now, to get emails or videos seen as they're embedded in emails, we need a high deliverability rate. And that's one of the biggest problems that our industry have, is how many opens your customers are getting. I will tell you my favorite subject line, pound for every first response to a customer, is the customer's first name, dash, your, whatever the vehicle model is, info. Not information, info. I do not like using the dealership's name in subject lines. Why? Who has Gmail? So in Gmail, when you get any email from any company, does it go to your inbox or your promotions tab? Every time, because the company name is in the subject line. So do away with the company name from subject lines, at least for the first 2 or 3 subject lines. And if you are embedding a video in it, I will tell you one of the greatest ways to get a high click-through rate, as we'll get to later, is by using the word video in the subject line. Videos are interesting to people to watch, so incorporate in. Now you can just say, you know, John, a video of your Corvette, a video of your Camry. That is more interesting to somebody because it's personally branded to them. It says their name, and it gives them a basic understanding of what is in that video. Yeah. So when your team...
Oh, I was going to say, just think the less is more strategy in your subject line. If you guys want to just go out there and Google, that's what I always do, or even test it. First Google, like, what are the things that'll target that subject line to go to spam or promotional? And what you need to do is test that. You know, send some videos to yourself, get a Yahoo account, get a Gmail account, you know, the main ones that are out there, and kind of see where they go and learn from that. So that's one of the big things I would tell you to always do, is check on that first before you decide on a subject line. But less is more is what I think you're indirectly saying.
So if you're creating an email template to incorporate a video into, I will tell you some of the core things is your thumbnail needs to be a picture of that person's face, not of the vehicle. They've already looked for 14 hours on Google. They know what that vehicle looks like. They probably submitted a form field submission off of your website that already is of the vehicle. They don't know what your person looks like. The human face is more interesting to people, so your thumbnail of that video needs to be the human face. Mention why you're sending the video. I thought I'd send you this video to speed things up, to show you that it's here, to explain a few features in it that is interesting to you. Let them know what the next steps are. As soon as you're ready to schedule a test drive, please give me a call or text me. I will be following up shortly after this email by phone to see if we can schedule a time for you to have an experience in this vehicle. Whatever it is, give them the impetus, and always give a call to action. In any email you send, give some semblance of a call to action and ask a question. Stop sending out emails that do not have questions embedded in them. In the videos, some things that I like saying in that personal video introduction, as I said before, mention the customer's name. Why would we want to do that?
It's personal.
Makes it personal, yeah. It makes them know that you're making it specifically for them. You're taking your valuable time to make something specific to that person. I love saying, I just want to put a face with a name. It's not said trippingly off the tongue. It is once you've said it as many times as I have. But if you say, I just want to put a face with a name, that's why I'm sending the video. Not because I'm an egotist. That's why some of the people out here do it. But for the most part, they do it because we want to make ourselves seem more likable. Call me at the number below. And if I don't hear from you, I will call you again tomorrow. Or I call you again later. One thing that I train everybody, and like free tip of advice, anytime your teams ever leave a voicemail for anybody, always let them know, if I don't hear from you soon, I'll call you again tomorrow.
Yeah. And the one thing
I'll call you again tonight. because they will call you back knowing that future calls are coming.
Yep. The one thing, especially in the first 5 seconds of the video, what should the video be about? It's real quick. What is it about? It's them. Them. If you're on the phone with a customer and you got to tell the customer what the expectations is. I'm going to send you a video of the car. Is that cool? Is that okay? Be looking for that. I'm going to send it to you. I'll shoot you a text. Just make sure you got it. But reference that part. The first 5 seconds, I always say, of every video, that's why we're saying their name and then you kind of making it back by you. But people want to know that you're listening to them. So the first 5 seconds could be very crucial for them to watch that full length of the video because you care.
So we need to get smart about where we incorporate, see what I did there, where we incorporate the videos into our processes. Every single email cannot be a video. We need to use all multiple mediums and use them back and forth, but we do need to be in a rush to send them. You do want a video, ideally, in your initial manual email. Maybe not your automated email, but your manual email. And one of the reasons is automotive shoppers, and again, this is just the speed and response, but automotive shoppers that receive a response to them within 10 minutes are 3 times more likely to visit the dealership than if it takes you 20. So I understand it's been a long time coming. We've been saying, if you remember, it used to be get back to them in under 4 hours. That's what we used to say back in the day. And then it was get back to them in under an hour. And then the OEM said an hour for a few years. And then it's 30 minutes. And now I think we all strive for like a 5 to 10 minute reply. And I can tell you, there is a higher closing ratio in responses that happen between 5 minutes and 10 minutes than those that happen in the first 2. Crazy enough. Higher closing ratio if you wait just a little bit more with your first emails. But there is a value to being quickly.
Yeah, I mean, just the click-through rate alone of 96%. Think about that when you send a video. I mean, that right there should be a number you guys should be taking a picture of and say, this is why we should be doing this. People will be listening to the message. When they click on it, they're watching the video. I mean, how many times do you get an open of an email and you're like, did they read it? Do you even know? The open of an email is useless, but the click of a video, by definition, is engagement. So this is why you got to look at the rate of increasing to get that click is so important, and teach the salespeople what that click means. They're listening to you.
And one quick thing, a lot of times salespeople will flip leads to lost very quickly. Internet, BDC, flip things to lost quickly because they say, well, they're not opening any of my emails. What most CRM companies do not tell you is not only are 65% of all emails open on mobile devices, but a lot of times if they open it from the basic mail app, they do not get the alert that it was ever opened. If the customer opens it in an email, they might not get that alert that it's open. So customers are seeing it, we don't know it. So don't have them flipping leads to lost quickly. But I always advocate in the first 2 days, we should send 2 different videos. One can be an introduction to the product. One can be an introduction to the person. I like doing person first. I know a lot of other people who believe in showing off the product first because you introduce yourself and the product. Regardless, those 2 need to be covered in the first 2 48 hours. And I'll just go with it, but will say that videos need to be out and gone quickly. This is in the first 60 seconds, but all right, I'm sorry, how long they are, how long a video is. Don't get wordy. Don't get loquacious. Your team, I will tell you, can be between 30 seconds and 90 seconds is an ideal length of video. Anything longer than that starts negatively affecting open rates. The difference between a 2-minute long video and a 3-minute long video is you get, I think it's almost 1/5 the amount of views on a 3-minute video than you do a 2-minute video. And I know this is coming from a guy who makes long videos. So, but there is a real value in having a 30-second to 90-second long video. That's the length. It's not long, but you need to incorporate in this as part of the process early. As I said, 2 in the first days, again in the middle, 1 week, 2 weeks later at most, and at the end. I love seeing, whether it be from a general manager, a sales manager, I love seeing a ending activity with an email because we know we could potentially get some engagement. And at all events, as we said, at the birthday event, at the anniversary of the car event, post-sale, appointment reminder videos. Every single event that a customer changes their direction of how they're going to start engaging with your store can have a video attached to it.
And remember, this is all about if the customer is clicking on the video, right? Because video, if we're getting clicks and getting engagement, I mean, I can now do everything A to Z because I know that customer is expecting the video. I would never want you to email a customer if they're not replying back to you, but they're replying to text. That's what you got to think about. So these are customers engaging on your videos, and you can take them from start to finish because they're engaging you on the video. Because how many of us, we pick up the phone, they don't answer. We send an email, they don't reply. You send an email, they open it, but they don't, get a reply on that either, right? So now you send a video and they watched it 3 times. You're going to keep engaging through video to eventually get them on the phone. So kind of think about that as we're going through this, because that's going to make a big difference on how you're going to do the videos all the way through the sales process.
And part of your process needs to be the moment you receive an alert that a customer opened an email or engaged with an email, that is a very great time to call them. We know they're engaged, they're likely on their phone or in front of their computer. Everybody has a phone right next to their computer if they are using it. That's the best time to call them right away, is when you get that alert. How long do you keep driving? I can tell you, you never need to send a video after day 30, period. I'll also tell you, you really don't need to call a customer unsold after day 30. Statistically, my company has all the data in the world that shows if a customer buys after day 30, first of all, it's about 5% of all of them if it's in the first 4 months. About 95% will have bought in the first month anyway. But if they do buy, it's not because you said something kick-ass on the phone on day 60, it's because they submitted another lead, typically on a used car. And that is how shoppers are buying. So don't make your team less productive by making them make these long-term calls. It just isn't worth their time. I know the biggest part of why video hasn't been embraced is because you do not hire actors. But if anything, it has been proven that you can take terrible actors, non-actors, just trash like Shia LaBeouf. And you put them up with technology, and they can make money for you. So the biggest thing you need to do is just get them to start doing it. And I understand when you start putting people that are not seasoned actors in front of a camera or have them hold the camera, much like Doc says, you're going to see some serious shit. Okay, there's going to be some bad stuff, but they can keep filming. They can refilm it until they like it. I will tell you, their 10th version to their first isn't that much better, but they will get better over time. And here's one example of a person who was extremely hesitant, apparently, to start utilizing video, who adopted and embraced it.
Hi, my name's Kristen. I've been shooting video for about 3 to 4 months now. And initially when I started, I was really reluctant on being nervous and not really knowing what to say or if I was going to say it right. And with time, I got comfortable with it and knew that you could reshoot video and do it as many times as you needed to, just like a simple Snapchat. You can constantly reshoot the video till you get it right. The moment I started incorporating the videos, I felt I got a more genuine response from the customers, knowing that it was a person on the other end. It wasn't a generated response, and it led to higher engagement, positive feedback on the videos, and getting those appointments. Nowadays, video is heavily immersed into our culture, so just be yourself and don't be afraid to do it.
And this is where that video to me means probably something to hopefully each and every one of you, because that is somebody that's at your dealership right now. All agree? That's what I call head trash. The head trash is a good term you could always take back to the dealership. I love it. It's the notion that somebody's not going to like me on camera.
Man, head trash is a completely different meaning on Urban Dictionary.
I love head trash, man. I learned it about 25 years ago, man. But the idea is we look the same in person as we do on videos. So let me tell you, and I say this all the time, and it's fun, but you don't look any better in person than you do on video, right? So shoot the video. That's the reality of it. And that's the fear that each one of the salespeople, BDC, we're worried about what's going to happen in turn. So you got to try it. You got to encourage it. So we're going to talk about some aspects.
If people are reluctant right from the get-go, pair them off. Make them go in teams. Make them not have to worry about what to say and holding the phone. Make that, and God forbid, stop having them hold it like this. This isn't Snapchat. We're putting this stuff on YouTube. Make it vertical or make it horizontal, but put them in teams and say, hey, John, you're going to hold it for Nancy. Nancy, you're going to hold it for John, and you're going to go out and you're going to shoot these in teams, just so you can trust somebody else. You say, how did it look? Get somebody else's feedback, And because everybody is their own worst critic. Do we agree?
Yep.
Everyone is their own worst critic. So for that reason, it's great to pair them off just to get them more accustomed to the things they're used to saying, to their body language. I don't know what to do with my hands. And with a month or two of working in teams, they'll be more comfortable. You will develop a bunch of A-team professionals. What is this person's name? Well, no.
Oh,
the
come
character,
on.
obviously. Okay, whoever's.
Who's that? Mike?
Yep, okay, there you go.
Yeah, and the reason why you want to do teams too is just kind of think, if you do have some platforms, the reason why you can't reverse the camera on some video platforms, so the video only shoots one way, that's one of the reasons why you may want to pair them up. So somebody can, like, I'm shooting you, it's showing the backside of the camera, unless you have an app where it does flip the camera. So that's another good reason why you want to pair people up.
We have to stop letting the inmates run the asylums at our stores, so we will all have those people who've been doing this for 10, 15 years who adamantly refuse. That cannot be allowed. So at one point you just have to say, take this job and shove it. This gentleman was also in Airplane, not just the movie, Take This Job and Shove It. What is the actor's name?
Robert Hayes.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Okay, here, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Good job, Robert Hayes.
Woohoo.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss
There's
and
nothing
tell, but I've
important
been
about the
seen
slide
with Farrah.
other than I want to hear the opening of that song. All right. And again, try to make it memorable. Be silly. Be goofy. We used to have props in my BDC, oversized glasses, clown hats, sombreros, fake pistols, whatever it takes to try to make yourself even remotely likable. And here's a couple examples, and we'll try to work through these.
Hey, this is Jonathan from McCarthy Morse Chevrolet in Overland Park, Kansas. I just want to go over the Chevy Bolt. It's electric, okay? It gets about 101 in the city and 93 on the highway. This one's got leather seats, heated seats, base model all, manual seats.
All right, creative video, right? All right, now you may say, what a dork, all right? But that is a video that could go viral. I mean, if you're gonna share it with your friends and family, again, he's branding himself.
Hi Ross, Michael, Stormtrooper Michael, 80 more Avon Nissan. Wanted to see if there was anything we could do to help put this deal together.
Right, I'll go past that quickly.
You were talking about
But
how
anyway,
much space
costumes,
that you needed in your
you can
back
blend
seat
in if
for
it's
all
Halloween
those
coming up
kids and
soon.
everything.
You can do Halloween
Let's take a
style
peek.
videos.
Oh, wow!
Coming
It's
up.
he who must not be
Buy
named.
bunny ears at the
Look how
dollar store, for
tall
God's
he
sakes.
is.
But try to make
And
yourself
look at all that
memorable,
leg room that you
likable,
have back
one way or the
there.
other.
Yeah, props will make it fun for everybody. That's one of the things you could do at your dealership. There's like a holiday every time of the month, it seems like. So you've got National Ice Cream Day. You had National Craft Beer Day the other day. I mean, it's like you could do just Craft Beer Day.
Oh, I thought you said crack beer day.
Good, no, craft. But I mean, just look at the calendar and say, what can we do as a prop? I mean, you got Mardi Gras, Easter's coming up. I mean, just think about all the things you can do just to make people comfortable and likable. That's really what this is about.
So again, yes, and don't be afraid to show how you are naturally and other people in their daily lives. But you need to incorporate all these things as a culture, and the best way to do this is by making policies around it. First off, let's be positive. Let's start off with incentives. Let's start off. I've got a Acura Honda dealership in St. Louis, Missouri area, and they make it a requirement that every single salesperson on every single deal needs to have either a review written about them within a week or a video testimonial done with a customer, no matter what, every single time, to get the full portion of their commission on that sale. So maybe that's a little harsh, but one way or the other, it is an incentive, and within a year, they had thousands of videos, if not more, and well, not more than thousands, but they had, I want to say, something like 1,500, 1,600 in the first year of customer testimony videos, all from putting an incentive in place. Reward your people for doing this, but you cannot make that permanent, it can't be forever, but people will work their pay plans. If there's two things I know about salespeople, is number one, they work their pay plans, and number two, they don't follow up. That's it. So if one overrides the other, then that's going to be good for you. But you need to start making it a policy, and your sales managers will dictate and drive. We grade how thoroughly people follow up with their internet leads for our clients over 8 to 10 days of a lead's life. So we make sure that videos are being sent, because if otherwise, do it yourself. Make sure that your own BDC manager, your own internet director, ensures that videos are being sent to their people every single time. Because they need to be held accountable. Accountability should be the word of 2019, not digital retailing, because we've beaten to death the marketing machine in automotive, and we need to understand how our teams are held accountable and even how our marketing is held accountable. But that is what it's going to take to make it stick. Anybody seen this movie? Burt Reynolds playing a Puerto Rican against a guy who killed his friend, happens to be albino. He calls him Bunny Eyes the whole time. It's a good watch. Burt Reynolds classic. You need to use video to beat the living daylights out of your competition, and just a couple pieces of case study data to wrap it up.
Yeah, so, you know, in looking at video data within the CRM, one of the things we always want to try to compare is what are the results that videos are going to give you. And so I always try to compare it to eBlast, you know, and you go out there, everybody's like, oh, I want an eBlast. Well, here's your open rate, 10%, you get a 1% click rate. But if you do like canned videos are okay, don't get me wrong. And those are some of the videos that we were sharing, right? It's not personal. I'm not saying the customer's name. So if you were to do canned videos, you're still getting a good open rate and you're getting a good click rate. But if you do a personalized video and people will say, well, Steve, why am I up 63% versus 26%? I think because if you go out there and you send a personalized video, you care, you're going to ask, did you get the video? That's one of the things. Anytime you send an email, like we were talking about, trust but verify. Did you get the video? And you're going to know it because they opened it, but they didn't click on it.
Character's name.
Ooh.
Full name. Oh, she got it.
Oh, Trent. Nice.
Not going to give it that easy. What about this person? This is Cars 3. I was able to incorporate everything on. Anyone? Nobody likes Cars 3? Who said it? Give that to
Oh, there you go. All right, look at there.
All right, so just to wrap this up, everybody, you need to be invested in video for the long run. I don't care if you work with yourself, your own team, their phones, if you work with a CRM, a technology, an outside third-party tool. I don't care if you work with your ad agency. Just start incorporating in video marketing onto your website, into your, into your marketing initiatives. But it definitely helps when communicating back and forth with customers and prospects. Even if they're sold customers and prospects, it makes you memorable. Incorporate video into your templates. Incorporate the videos into your processes. Make sure your people are embedded in them. And definitely incorporate them into your policies. And if you do that, it becomes a part of your culture. With that, my name is Joe Webb. This is Steve Roessler, and we really do appreciate your time.
Man, we crunched that at the end there.